You know, your brand is nothing without the community, right? Instagram is our forum, you know what I mean? It's like, I talk to a gazillion kids a day, and, you know, as much as they support me, I want to support them and, like, you know, just give access. Not having a lot when I was growing up, I try to give back to, like, that same community and, like, just give accessibility. I went to art school, I dropped out, and I actually learned, like, all my design skills just from, like, different friends. YouTube was a big help. I always say I'm a big product of, like, YouTube University.
Boy, the Thunder looking like they're not messing around. They had a little bit of an edge to them as they got off the bus earlier. A picture-perfect afternoon in Southern California. From the beaches to downtown Los Angeles, this is Staples Center, our setting today. Greetings, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for our latest presentation of NBA basketball. With Doris Burke, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian Anderson. And with us tonight, an icon on the court, in the studio, and here at the broadcast table. How about that for an introduction, Candace Parker?
Thank you. I hope I live up to this intro, guys.
A look at the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've got Maladon. Derek Favors out there with Darius Baisley. Then there's Lou Dort, and it's Giddey in at the 2. And for the Clippers, the 1-2 punch of George and Kawhi on the perimeter. Morris and Zubac play together in the front court, and it's Mann in at the 1. And Paul George silencing many critics with his play last postseason. Candace, do you feel he's subject to too much criticism?
You know, I think that criticism comes in many different ways. And as a star player, you know, there has not been anybody more criticized than LeBron James. And he's one of the greats in our game. So, Paul George, you have to accept that.
Coming onto the floor for the Thunder.
And the Clippers with the ball. They're leading by 8. Jackson outside to the paint. Here's George, and the jam by George.
They're not wasting any time putting their stamp on this game. What a start.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Back to Dort. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Let's go with a 3. Offensive rebound, Henry. Oh, and Jackson with the defensive effort.
Great rim protection. He didn't have a chance.
To the middle. Pass to George. 1:21 left in the first quarter of the game. Oklahoma City's gone 0 for 4 from deep to start this one. And here's Muscala. Here's Henry. Back to Muscala. Dort outside. Here's Mann. The 3. Here's Roby. And that one's good with extra effort on the glass.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
Down low. Here's Jackson. A rebound by Henry. And if the name MP sounds familiar, it might be due to his high school days. Through social media, he had a major presence when he was a teenager.
It caused MP to gain a lot of fanfare at a young age. Now, he'll have to work hard to shed the image of being a social media star and be viewed as an NBA star.
Offline with a 3. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to George. Puts up a 3. Count that one. He's scoring at a nice clip. He's 6 of 9 tonight.
Oh, it's just raining threes for them early.
High post Muscala. Pass to Henry. Corner shot. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
Mike Muscala.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Clippers ahead, leading by 9. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And before we move on, what do you think about what we've seen from the Clippers?
Well, it seems like they went in looking to do damage from long range, and they faced little resistance.
And that was obviously the plan coming in. Now the big question, can they maintain that efficiency from range as the game goes along?
Jackson and Kennard, the guards. Nicholas Batum out there with Norman Powell. And it's Hartenstein in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Well, it feels like it's just a matter of time before a team hires a woman to be their head coach. Candace, how monumental an occasion will that be in your mind?
I think it'll be huge, but it'll be huge in the steps of how it will trickle down to other avenues of life. I think it's so important for everyone to view women as capable leaders. And so the moment that step is taken, there's going to be so many more organizations and companies that hire women because the NBA did.
Is that something Candace Parker would pursue?
I lack patience, so I can't coach. I'm going to be over here with you, BA.
Where you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Here's Pokusevski. Oklahoma City's got to hurry. They got to get up a shot. Henry misses the 3.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Inside. No good that time. And Oklahoma City will go the other way with it. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And check this out. Their shooting percentage was in the low 30s as a team. That right there tells you all you need to know.
I think indicative of some breakdowns in their offensive execution. You don't create any open looks, and they couldn't make the ones they were taking.
Well, some time now has passed since the WNBA bubble, Candace. Looking back at that time, what stands out the most to you?
Well, for the last 6 or 7 months, we weren't allowed to say bubble in my household. It was a unique experience, one that I am very happy to have been a part of. Just in terms of what that season meant to the WNBA and just in sports.
So it's Los Angeles, a sizable 18-point lead at the end of the period. And they've racked up a ton of turnovers. More 2K action in just a moment. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these.
Coming onto the floor for the Thunder,
Into the third. 2 minutes in now. Leonard outside. Pass to man. To the inside. Here's Zubats. And the layup is good. Zubats has got 4 points in the quarter.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
On the court for the Thunder, we've got Isaiah Roby, Lugans Dort out there with Darius Baisley. And it's Henry in at the point. Here's Baisley. Shot clock at 5. Pulls up on the wing. And that one hits the back iron. Los Angeles has gone 6 of 14 from the perimeter tonight. Tipped. And they converted last on attempt number 3.
This run has been fueled by their Matador defense.
A minute 53 left to play in the third quarter here. Dort outside. That one's good for 2. So Dort's got 7.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Here's George. Count it. Good.
Just so successful getting the ball inside and finding those great looks.
Oklahoma City has got nothing to fall from outside in this third quarter. Pass to Roby. Leonard against Dort. Fires for three. The Clippers grab the miss.
Well, that's just inconsistency from him, and it's happened all night, and it hasn't helped their cause.
It's good.
Don't you love it when you've got a small forward who can pass the basketball just like Paul George did there? Makes it look easy.
Pass to Dort. Here's Giddey. Here's Roby. He's guarded by Zubac. Dort outside. He takes it in. The Clippers grab the miss. George has got 7 rebounds in the game.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
Oklahoma City shooting a poor 25% for this game so far. Here's Giddey. George defending. Pass to Dort. Here's Henry. From outside the arc. The shot, no good. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers in total control, up by 29 going into the break. And their defense has stood out, wreaking havoc for the opposition. Time for a quick break, then back to the action. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist to the game.
You talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to
Now
Clippers will go for a different look here. Leonard's checked in for Hartenstein. George comes in for Coffey. Powell, he's checked in for Batum. And it's Mann in for Jackson. Terrence Mann is out there with Norman Powell. Then it's Luke Kennard. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's George in at the small forward position. That's who's out there for the Clippers. And that one's long. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 for 15 in the fourth.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Clippers.
And everything seemed to go their way today. They were firing on all cylinders, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., this was the kind of performance you relish as a player. Just a very impressive win.
And they'll chalk this up as their 3rd win of the year.
Always good to start a season series off with a W. They showed tonight they take this team seriously, and the next 2 matchups between these two should be fun.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for Paul George.
They simply can't stop him right now. This guy playing with passion and focus.
Both teams will make substitutions. Good on both. 43 seconds left in the game. Robinson Earl, covered by Covington.
Hey, right here.
Pass to Henry.
Get down, baby.
Here's Pokusevski. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Muscala. Basket counts.
Well, they needed this run way earlier. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
Here's Mann. So no problem for the Clippers as they get the win. They didn't have too many problems tonight.
They didn't. Just a tremendous team effort. Once they had that big lead, they were not going to let the visitors back into the game.
And that about wraps it up. For Doris Burke, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, and our entire crew, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
There's never any doubts in my mind because I'm the best in the world. Even though a lot of you don't like to hear it, it's fact.